is match day 5 in Champions League soccer, and Carmine Bianco has you guys covered with a special match day 5 package. You can get all of his selections on Tuesday and Wednesday, including his 5% top play for only $59 when using coupon code MD530 at checkout. This package is regularly priced at $89. Carmine is currently hitting 71% with his tournament selections this year and is on a 12-2 run with his 5% soccer releases.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Stoppage Time Champions League live show. It's match day 5, guys, and I'm doing this from Aruba. If you're wondering around about the background here, so I'm on vacation, but I still wanted to do this show with you guys and preview for the big games that are going on over the next couple days. Let's bring in our crew: Kevin Dolan and Nick Borrman of Wager Talk and Pavlos Laguretos of Sports Memo. We'll go to Kev first. Kev, you are the $2 capper at Wager Talk today. How's it going?
Oh, good, Carmine. I mean, Jesus, I never want November to end, to be honest. It's been a fantastic month. 11-3 run in soccer, plus 105% banked over the month as well. Small blip on Leicester last night, didn't get the job done. But yeah, I mean, November's been fantastic, and hopefully December's was good.
Awesome. Nick, what's going on? What do you have going the next couple days in Champions League, my friend?
Have a 4-pack up going today, Tuesday, and I do have a 5% top stake play going on Wednesday. Ready for a new exciting week. The last week was a shit week to put it lightly. But before that was on a great soccer run going all the way back to July. So I hope to rebound this week and liking several of the spots that we're seeing in match day 5 this week. So excited for it.
Yeah, listen, I say it all the time, man. The ebbs and flows of this business that we're in. It's going to happen, right? But it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So just keep plugging away and putting those winners out. Pavlos, I think for once I've got better weather than you have, my friend. How's it going there? What do you have going today?
Actually, I'm pretty jealous that you are seeing all the sun, and we in Greece have no sun these days. I agree with Nick. It was a tough week, but we're all on the bounce back mode, and we're going to do much better this week. I have a 7-pack for today that includes a couple of MLS plays for tonight. I have a Euroball 2-pack for today, and I'll wait for a couple of news to either post or not post 5% for tomorrow. But this is going to be an exciting week. I bet on it.
All right. You bet on it. You better be betting on it. All right. So we're gonna jump right into the thing here. So we're gonna do 4 games today, guys. We're gonna do Manchester United, PSG, Liverpool, Ajax, Sevilla, Chelsea, and Atlético, Madrid, and Bayern Munich. Those are the 4 big games, in my opinion. Those are the ones we're going to break down. I'm going to get a couple of guys to talk about them. And then we're going to have some segments with the guys where they're going to give you some props or over-under bets. So we're giving you a ton of content today on the show. We're going to hop right to it with Man United PSG. This one's a good one. A lot on the line here still in Group H. United lead the group with 9 points. PSG and Leipzig are right behind them with 3. And based on the results of match day 5, we could be heading into match day 6 with all 3 teams tied at 9 points, and those tiebreakers then come into play. 2-1 last time these guys met. Marcus Rashford, 87th minute goal in France at Parc des Princes. United right now are plus 180. The draw is plus 250. PSG is a slight favorite at plus 140. The total currently sits at 2.75, which is a split line of 2.5 and 3. I'm going to go to Kevin first on this one. Kev, give me your thoughts on this game.
It is a tricky game for me. I'll preface this by saying, in my opinion, this is probably the trickiest game of the 2 days. I think current number is right. In my opinion. And if you're getting involved in this game, tread lightly. That said, if I was playing this game, I lean slightly to PSG off scratch here. United are in great form right now, no denying it. They've won 4 straight competitive games. That's for the first time in almost 2 years, and have looked absolutely ruthless at home across their Champions League matches this year. They've scored an average of 4.5 goals across both games at home this season. And to be honest, you can't even fault their comeback win against Southampton at the weekend. United completely dominated that game on the XG numbers, and they actually have a pretty impressive 2.46 expected goals average over their last 2 EPL games as well. However, I know we use this word quite a lot. This is must-win territory for PSG tonight. And, as I said, I know we always say this on this show that it's such an overused analogy in sports betting. But look, if Leipzig get a result against Başakşehir tomorrow night and PSG fail to get a positive result here, that will be the end of PSG as we know it. Tuchel will be gone, and Mbappe and Neymar will follow him. The biggest positive for PSG heading into this game is that the away side have won all of the previous encounters between these two. Against French League One teams at home, United have been thoroughly dominant, fantastic form. They've lost just once across their last 14 European fixtures against French teams. However, that one loss, we can guess what it was back in 2018, PSG. So overall, the numbers point me to United here. But with Everton on the line in this one, I'll have to give a tentative lean to PSG off scratch. Of course, off scratch means we get that push if there's a draw. That's important in this one. But it's honestly a game. It'll be more of a watch and brief game for me. But yeah, if I had to pick a side, PSG +0.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Nick. I want to mention, because when I look at some of I know this game is being played tomorrow, but I want to make a point to the guys who are in the chat, and thanks for tuning in. Is you've got to look at the team lineups, and you can find out if teams are resting players ahead of these games. Now, obviously, no one's being rested in this game, but there are some injuries. And you look at the United side, obviously Jones, Shaw are out and will not play. But you've got guys like Martial, McTominay, Pogba, Telles, and even De Gea in net. They're all questionable. So you've got to see what and you look at teams like today, Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are arresting a bunch of their players today because they've already locked up the group. So they don't need that game, and that's probably why the line in that game has moved, Nick. But do you think heading into this game, any of these guys that are questionable for United sit out? Does that factor into your decision to play this game?
It's hard to. I guess for this particular game, because of how important it is for both sides. We could be looking at a 3-way tie after this round going into the final match day. So if there's ever a time you can't afford to rest anybody, and if you have to push through with a slight knock and get on the field, this is probably it. So I would have to assume that most players are going to be doing everything they can, and both managers are going to try to get the guys on the field. But you can always wait that hour till before kickoff to really wait and see. We talk about this behind the scenes of. I get questions on this all the time of, why don't you wait till lineups are out, before you bet some of these games, which is a great question. And sometimes I do, but as far as, client plays and things like that only gives an hour or sometimes less to really get that kind of information out. So my assumption is that any sort of small injury, these guys are going to get on the field and play through. Maybe they sub off a little early. Maybe they come on as a sub in the game. But my guess is they're going to do everything they can, both sides, to be on this match. I do want to ask one question to Kevin. Did you suggest that this is, if PSG loses this match, this is the end of PSG as we know it? Is that what's on the line here?
Yeah, I think Tuchel will be gone. And look, we already know Neymar wants out of there, so yeah, I think this dominant European force, I think they're going to have to reset. It might take them a few seasons to get back into the swing of it.
I love it. I'm looking on Pinnacle right now to see if there's a PSG, loss of team, or I don't even know what it would be called, but I'm trying to see if there's a line that PSG will be melted away after this
implosion.
I don't see it yet. Listen, I agree. Go ahead, Gar.
It's the pending implosion, but I get what he's saying. That this is a squad where the cost of this lineup is through the roof, and normally you expect when you spend that much money on these players, from Mbappe to Neymar to they even brought in Keane, who's been scoring on loan you know what I mean, from Everton and playing well. But, you know, the guys that they have there are Cardi, and there's just a lot of high-priced guys on that lineup, and you can't be going out in the group stages of the Champions League. If you don't even make it to the knockout stages, a year removed from being in the final, you're in trouble. And you know, we end up seeing a new manager come in there. You know, the former Tottenham manager is kind of floating around waiting for a job, right? So you never know if we see him somewhere. He could pop up there. All right, guys, a good preview on that game. I want to go to the first segment here, and then we'll do some show business. But first one is I'm going to bring in Pavlos, and Pavlos is going to do a segment I like to call Pavlos's Props. So, Pavlos, you have an interesting play today in Pavlos's Props. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, my play for today comes from the Gladbach versus Inter Milan match. And there's a very interesting statistic about Gladbach this season. They've played 14 matches in all competitions. And in 13 of those 14 matches, there were late goals. In some sports books, you can find this late goal, which means a goal to be scored after the 77th minute of the match. So Gladbach have seen late goals in 13 of their 14 matches in all competitions this season. And they've scored 8 of those, and they conceded 9 late goals in 14 matches. That means that they are not really careful when the matches, you know, they are towards the end. They've lost a lot of points due to that stat. And Inter Milan, they've also seen late goals in their matches with 7 late goals in their last 9 matches, and they scored 7 of those. So this is a very tricky match because Gladbach are sitting at the top, Inter Milan are sitting at the bottom. They are dying for a win here. They'll go all in. And if the match is at a draw or Gladbach are winning, Inter Milan are going to go all in. So I expect a late goal in this match past the 77th minute at minus 119. Let me remind you that in the previous match, these 2 teams played against each other in the reverse picture. Both teams scored after the 77th minute, sorry. So I'm pretty confident that we'll see a late goal in this match, and I'm picking it at minus 119.
All right, I love it. That's quite the prop bet. I'm gonna have to look at it once we get off the air on this show and get some action down on that, and then I know where you live in case this doesn't come in. So with that said, I'm gonna guys, it's $2. It's $2 Tuesday at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. The cappers the $2 Tuesday thing at both sites is you get a featured capper and you get his play that's normally priced at either $25, $29, or $40, and you can get it for only $2. We do that every Tuesday at both sites. None other than Kevin Dolan, the Irishman, is the $2 capper at Wager Talk. He has a college football side up. He's been absolutely killing college football, so you want to get on this play, and it's only $2. And over at Sports Memo, it's Drew Martin. Drew has a college basketball play up. So we're focusing on college sports with the $2 plays. Head over to both sites, pick that up. It's only $2. We also have the Matchday 5 package up. I believe it's only Pavlos and I who have the 2-day special package up, but you can get every single play today and tomorrow in Champions League, including 5% plays, and I've got one loaded for Wednesday, and that's only $59 when you use the coupon MD530 at checkout. That package is usually $119. Reduce it to $89 and another $30 off to make it a deal. Those 5% plays go for $40 in themselves. All right, we're going to head to the next game. This is another one. This is another interesting one. Group D. Obviously, Group D, they got interesting on match day 4. Liverpool dropped a 2-0 result at home to Atalanta. It's one I don't think anyone really expected, even with the injuries to Liverpool. And now the top 3 are separated by 2 points. Ajax and Atalanta are both on 7, just 2 back of Liverpool. I still believe Liverpool are safe in this group because their match day 6 game is against bottom of the group, Midtjylland. But they could easily be heading into match day 6 in 3rd place in that group if they lose to Ajax, and Atalanta take care of business against Midtjylland. I'm going to go to Pavlos here first on this one. Pavlos, Liverpool, 2-0 result. A lot of injuries on the team. Alcantara, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Shaqiri, obviously Van Dijk, and Gomez are two of the big ones on defense. Ajax are scoring goals like crazy. What's happening here? The reverse fixture was 1-0.
Yeah, as you said, Ajax are indeed scoring goals like crazy. Since that loss to Liverpool, they scored 38 goals in 8 matches. Of course, most of those goals were in a 13-0 win in their domestic league. But still, it goes to show that yet again, Ajax are one of the best mid-tier teams in Europe. They can pull upsets, in a lot of matches. I'd like to say a very interesting fact about Liverpool in this match. They've only lost once in 16 matches against Dutch sides, and that loss was against Ajax. However, that loss was back in I think 1966. But Liverpool are undefeated in 14 matches against Dutch sides ever since. However, as you said, they are missing a ton of players in the defense. They'll use a makeshift defense with Fabinho at the center back. Maybe Tsimikas will start at left back. Ajax, I don't think that they expect to get any points from this match, but that doesn't mean that they won't get any points from this match. I think that the most important match for Ajax is the final match day against Atalanta. If Atalanta win today, Ajax would require a win at home against Atalanta in the final match. Liverpool, they lost, as you said, to Atalanta in the previous match by 2-0 at home. I personally did not expect that. That was an under and an away win. So Liverpool, I don't think that it's really hard for Liverpool to have 2 back-to-back losses in the Champions League. But I simply cannot trust them when their defense is like that. Ajax are really healthy right now. They're coming off a nice win in their domestic league. And sometimes they're really, really dangerous. So I don't think that we'll see a very open match. I think Klopp is under pressure right now. He's nagging about the injuries. He's nagging about the subs. He's nagging about a lot of stuff. So I think he'll try to safeguard his defense. I don't think he will allow Ajax to operate a lot. I personally don't expect a very high scoring match here, but I think Ajax could maybe escape with some points, and even if they do, I think that they'll stay pretty competitive. So I think it's a pretty solid bet to back Ajax with a plus 3/4 goals. I think the line is at plus 105. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When you look at this current line, you normally don't see Liverpool as low as minus 150 at home. The draw is plus 333, and Ajax is plus 350, and that totals 325. Liverpool did have injuries. I'm going to go to Kevin next. They did have injuries heading into that game at Ajax and held them at home, scoreless in a 1-0. I don't think that, again, it's one of those things where Liverpool have such quality through not only their 11 but on the bench that I think they could very easily get the result they need here. And the thing is, when you're talking about tiebreakers, if Ajax and Atalanta were to both win today, or both win on match day 5, and they head in and to match day 6 in Ajax actually have the advantage, even though they're tied, because the first tiebreaker in Champions League is the head-to-head matchups, and if they end on 2 draws, the tiebreaker is goals scored on the road first, and they got a 2-2 result. So Atalanta would need either a similar 2-2 result or a 3-3 draw or higher if it was to finish in a draw, or outright win in Ajax. So they hold all the cards right now, at least heading into match day 5. Kev, will the Reds lose 2 in a row at home?
I mean, I agree with most of what Pavlos just said there. It's a tricky game, especially with the host of injury concerns that you guys highlighted previously. Klopp's lineup last week against Atalanta was, extremely puzzling. I wasn't on the game, but it was surprising the lineup that he put out, expecting to get a result with that team. Atalanta took full advantage, obviously, and the groups really become interesting there as a result of their win last week, with everything to play for. As you guys said, a win here will book Liverpool a place in the knockout rounds no matter what happens next week. And last week's loss to Atalanta was Liverpool's only loss, as Pavlos highlighted, across their last 11 Champions League group stage home games. So Klopp will no doubt want to start this game on the front foot and look to put this game to bed early if possible. This is a very good Ajax team because they've got a tough matchup against Wolves looming at the weekend as well. As we said, though, Ajax, what a tough team. Including qualifiers, Ajax are unbeaten on the road across their last 17 Champions League road games. So they'll no doubt travel to Anfield with absolutely no fear of Liverpool in this spot. I'm on the total in this game as one of my plays up tonight. From a side perspective, though, buying Ajax up to a full goal is around -150 at most books. That looks decent value to me, as I don't see Liverpool blowing them out tonight. And I wouldn't put anyone off taking a piece of the outright draw in this one at +320 either, as that looks a healthy price. Yeah, I mean, conservative bettors Ajax +1, or, if you fancy a punt, the outright draw +320.
Awesome. I love it. I'd say it's going to be a good game. So I'm going to try and catch as many of these games as possible. We're going to look at, I'm going to go to Nick now for one of our free play segments. I call this one Nick's Numbers. Nick is going to look at a game, Man City and Porto, I believe. Nick, take it away. Let me know what you got and give us some numbers.
Yeah, Man City, Porto. I'm looking at the over in this match. And, City is one of those teams that is kind of a head scratcher so far this year. Obviously, everybody knows they are not playing, at least domestically, they're not playing up to their past standards. Right now, their goals per game average is just 1.63. Expected goals per game, is just 1.63 in the Premier League. But they have ticked that up to 2.02 in the Champions League, where they've been playing much, much better. They have 4 wins already through 4 games. Last year, they averaged a full goal more at 2.67 expected goals per game in the Premier League. They are off a 5-0 thrashing of Burnley, which should give them plenty of confidence heading into this match. I feel like they just kind of need – they're like an ebb and flow team. When they get down, they have so much attention around them. Guardiola, gets all the credit or all the blame when they're playing well or not. And they seem to really, feed into that, whether it's him or the players. And when they're up, they're up. When they're down, they're down. And they, I'm hoping this is a turning corner for them. That match looks like they've kind of got some confidence going. And I think that's going to carry over into this match. Porto, they've been doing their thing, as usual in the Premier League. They're averaging 2.35 expected goals per game. They scored in the reverse fixture, which was a 1-3 loss to City, and I think they can score again here. And that's going to be enough. If they score 1 goal, this game should have no problem going over the total. City has enough firepower to go over it themselves. But I think if you look at the season's body of work for the Premier League, might not appear to look as an overplay on City here, but how often do we see City numbers this low? And I think that we're going to see them play much better here. And coming into this match, I think we'll see goals both sides, and I think that'll lead to an over. So I'm going over 2.75 in this match.
All right, I love it. Another one I will be getting action down on. City did not let me down on the weekend. I don't like to lay anything higher than those 2s, but they're starting to score, and I understand. They won 5-0 in that game. And, I thought about taking that 5-0 exact game prop because they had beaten them 3 straight times at home by a 5-0 scoreline, and they made it 4 in a row. I didn't even see what the odds were, but they must have been somewhat astronomical. Must have been at probably in that plus 2,800 range for those odds. All right, we're going to head over to the next game, and this is another good one, but these are 2 teams that have already secured their path into the knockout stages, Sevilla and Chelsea. Current line on this one is Sevilla plus 175. The draw is plus 230. Chelsea are plus 150. The total is 2.5. As I mentioned, both teams have secured their spots into the knockout stages. The only question left is who wins the group, and obviously the group winner gets a slightly better draw in the second round, as you get someone who finished second in their group who is not from your association or country. These teams play to a scoreless draw on match day 1. I am going to go to Nick first on this one. And again, as I mentioned with tiebreakers, the tiebreakers that come into place is if these guys play to a 1-1, if they play to a draw in Sevilla and it's a 1-1 draw or higher, the advantage goes to Chelsea heading into the final match day in the tiebreakers. Nick, give me your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, you said it. Both teams are into the knockout rounds, but there is a reason to win the game and try to win the group to get a better draw for those knockout rounds. That being said, last week I was kind of looking at this game and a quick look ahead spot. I was like, all right, if I can get a goal either way, I think that's the way to play it, because these two teams are evenly matched. And Sevilla, we've talked about it all, plenty of times over the years, is a team I don't ever want to fade in the Europa League or the Champions League. They just know how to play in these type of competitions. That being said, maybe perhaps this is the time to do it. And I really look at it because of what's coming up. You have Sevilla has a home match this weekend versus Real Madrid, which is a huge game in La Liga for them, while Chelsea are at home against Leeds. So if one team, just from this standpoint of, what's coming up for them, you got to look and give the advantage to Chelsea on that side. I watched the game Chelsea-Tottenham this weekend, and the first half and the second half, Chelsea looked like two different teams. And their depth could be the deciding factor, not only in this game, but for a lot of their matches as they go forward. I mean, they really took control of that match in the second game. They have their lineup coming back healthy, right? We got Pulisic back in the lineup. Kai Havertz was back from COVID. Both of them came in that second half, and they really dominated Tottenham in the second half. They ended up settling still for a scoreless draw, but I think they were rather unlucky to win that game. And I'm wondering, as we watch them both in this, Sevilla match and future Premier League matches, is will that be the case for them? Are they so deep and have so many players that can come off of the bench? Will the full 90 minutes take a toll on other teams as they go through the game? And I'm thinking, as we go into this match, that could be the case here. And the money is certainly moving towards Chelsea. It almost, the quarter of a goal is almost about to come out for the Sevilla side. And again, I go back to what I said originally, where I would probably take that. I might not now, only because of what I've seen from Chelsea this past weekend and the fact that Real Madrid could, if they're down, if maybe it's just 1-0, I mean, will they pack it in? You can't say that, but will they be as, I don't know, eager to push forward and go guns a-blazing to try to get a draw and get a point out of this game? They might not with Real Madrid on the corner. So I like Chelsea in this one. I wouldn't go big, but I think they're the side to play in this match anyway.
Yeah, I tend to agree, but I look at I thought Chelsea was probably the better team on match day 1, but Sevilla's playing they're playing some very good football right now. They're locking teams down defensively.
Yep.
This is why these two teams have have their spots into the next stages secured, and we're probably going to see both these teams. When you're talking about players coming out, players resting, we're probably going to see both these teams resting players on match day 6, and we're going to see some differing odds. If this group is settled at this point, if there's a winner in this game, both teams will rest players on match day 6. You can guarantee that because of the congested schedules in December. If you look at some of the team schedules, it's what we're seeing, and it's something that we'll talk about in the upcoming game with Bayern and Atlético. I want to go to Pavlos here. You watch a lot of La Liga. Give us your thoughts on this Sevilla team and this game.
Yeah, I would normally go with Chelsea on this one, but in their last match, their left back, Ben Chilwell, he rolled his ankle pretty badly, and he's questionable for this match. So if he doesn't play, the next man up is Marcos Alonso, who is a very slow player. He's very talented. He can, do all the crosses or whatever. He's very creative, but he's pretty bad at the back. So if that's the case, I think that the Sevilla offense will find open ways from down the right flank, their right flank, and Chelsea's left flank. So I think that they will have. It's actually a big blow for Chelsea if Chilwell can't play. One other interesting stat is the fact that Chelsea haven't won any of their last 5 matches on Spanish soil. So, and Sevilla, are one of the most cynical teams out there. We say this every time, and so it all comes down to who will win the top spot in this group. And the last match, the match day 6 matches, Sevilla play at Rennes and Chelsea play at home against Krasnodar. So Sevilla, I think they have a bit tougher match than what Chelsea have in the final match day. So I think that they'll try to win this match, possibly by a small, a low score, like a 1-0 or something. Call me crazy to bet against Chelsea, but I think I'll take Sevilla here, just for the reasons I said. If Chilwell can't play, it's a huge blow for Chelsea, and they traditionally struggle. They won 6 of the last 8 Champions League matches on the road, but they haven't won any of their last 5 against Spanish matches, actually in Spanish soil. So yeah, I think I'll back Sevilla on this one.
All right. As I look at my Wi-Fi connection, just to make sure I don't get bumped off here in Aruba, but Nick is standing by to take over just in case. We're going to go to the next segment, guys. Another free play segment. This is, I call this one Total Recall with Kevin Dolan, the Irishman. Kev, tell us what you have. Give us a play.
Yeah, Carm, I'm going to talk about your favorite team, Dynamo Kiev. This is a total that we're on for tomorrow night between Dynamo Kiev and Juventus. I love the value on the under here. It's set at 2.75 because both teams look to see out the final 2 matches of the competition. Juventus have already wrapped up qualification in the knockout stage of this competition. And even with an outside shot, finishing top, that goal difference against Barcelona looks fairly insurmountable as far as I can see. So I can see Pirlo adopting a far more pragmatic approach heading into this game. On the other side, Dynamo Kiev are locked in a battle for that 3rd place Europa League spot against Ferencváros, and it'll likely all come down to next week's home game against them to determine who takes it. However, the Ukrainians could make their life a whole lot easier if they can come out of Turin with a positive result tomorrow night, heading into that final match day against the Hungarians next week. Juventus have been excellent at home this year. They've kept 3 clean sheets from their opening 4 home games this season in Turin, and have allowed just 1 goal across those 360 minutes of football there as well. They're keeping opponents at home this year to just 0.43 expected goals against. So it's going to be very difficult to see how a Dynamo Kiev team that has netted just once across their last 4 games as a competitive outsider break them down here. I'm taking the under in this spot, as I can see a similar type 2-0 type of result that Juventus got in the reverse fixture. So yeah, under 2.75 is your total recall play for Matchday 5.
All right, love it. I just happen to be wearing, as you'll see, the colors of my team for this show. And I'll be watching that game, of course. They played that game without Ronaldo. Oh, God. Here comes the yellow card. God. That's the hairdo I used to have when I was a kid growing up, so I don't fault Joe for it. All right, so we're going to switch over now to the final game that we're covering, and I know some of the guys in the chat were asking about this one. Atlético Madrid, Bayern Munich. Obviously, Bayern has, let me give you the odds on this one. The odds have dropped now to Atlético minus 106. The draw is plus 280. Bayern Munich is plus 260. The total is 2.75 in this game. Obviously, Bayern have secured their spot in the knockout stages. Atletico sits second, but they can secure passage with a win at home on Tuesday. One of the dynamics at play here that we need to look at is the type of lineup that teams will field once they've qualified. And, I did a write-up on this earlier in the week, and if you look at Bayern Munich's their travel team, there are quite a few players that are missing in this game. I'm just going to bring that up for you guys in a second here. But if you look at these are the players that are missing for Bayern Munich, and I understand they have a team with a lot of depth, but Goretzka is out, being rested. Kimmich out in the injury. Lewandowski will not play. He's being rested. Manuel Neuer and net being rested. a couple other players obviously on red cards and injuries. So they still have a lot of depth on that squad, but the advantage here, obviously in the line, clearly lies with Atletico Madrid. In my eyes, an important game for them. Bayern will still play a very good squad, but it's not their best squad, guys. And this is why the price is where it is on Bayern Munich. You hardly ever see them at plus 260, if ever. I'm going to go to Nick first on this one. Nick, give me your thoughts because you watch a lot of Bundesliga action. Bayern Munich have a big game coming up in 4 days' time against Red Bull Leipzig in Bundesliga play. Is that one of the reasons why they're resting guys?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's no incentive to do anything in this match. They already have the top spot locked up, as you mentioned. So, when you get to these type of situations and you know ahead of time that you have lineups that are changed, one of the hardest things for us to try to figure out as bettors, and rightfully so, the same with the bookmakers, is how much value are you putting on those players and those lineup changes, right? So what would this lineup be? What would this line, be if everybody was on the line? Everybody was in the lineup and we knew this game mattered all the way through. Would we be looking at, I feel like it would be Bayern minus a quarter of a goal on the road. So is there a 3/4 goal line move here based on these players? That's a question you have to ask. I don't know if I have the answer. I'm honestly pretty nervous on the side. I hate to get in front of Bayern. Even down the depth chart, they have a lot of talent in that lineup. But it sounds like Flick, even still so, even though he's got guys like Mueller, Sané going, and traveling for this match, he still wants to give a lot of the newer, younger players some minutes here. So to me, the way I would bet this is an over. And the reason I look to that is because when you get a guys that aren't used to playing together as much, or guys looking for minutes, you kind of have a twofold scenario there. You have one, not everybody's in full unison, I guess you could say, with each other on the field, right? So mistakes can happen, especially defensively. Oh, I thought you were there. I thought I was there. I didn't quite move over to my spot in time. On the same note, you have guys that are desperate for more playing minutes and will do anything they can to showcase how good they can be. They want to prove to Hansi Flick that, hey, I deserve more minutes. What does that mean? That means maybe taking a few more chances than they otherwise would have, because what's the risk? And they have nothing to lose. They're not going to play, or maybe they'll surprise the coach and they'll get a few more minutes. So that means they could possibly score, or they make a mistake by trying to do too much, and it leads to the counter on Atletico. So I think the key here is if Bayern get on the board with one goal, which I think they will, this game should go over, because Atletico are in a fight for their life, and it would be embarrassing for them if they don't get out of this group, and they might not if they lose this match. So they're going to be fighting desperately, and I think if Bayern score, like I said, that everything lies on Bayern scoring. I think they will. I think this match goes over the total.
Yeah, they put themselves in this spot, obviously, with the 2 draws against Lokomotiv Moscow on match day 3 and match day 4. A scoreless draw at home on match day 4 is not what I don't think anybody expected from this Madrid side. And had they secured full points there, this game wouldn't take on the same importance as it does today, because you've got obviously the early game today at 12:55. You've got Salzburg playing against Lokomotiv Moscow, and a win by either one of those sides and an Atletico loss puts the qualifying spot, the second qualifying spot, completely up for grabs heading into that final match day. Kev, give me your thoughts on this game. I know you've said before you don't want to stand in front of this Bayern train.
Yeah, definitely not. I definitely don't want to stand in front of the Bayern train. If you look on paper, this looks like a tacked on Atletico win just because of the reasons you mentioned previously. Look, this game means nothing to Bayern. They've got a very tough game coming up in a couple of days against Leipzig. So, perhaps they just sit back. We don't need this win. Let Atletico take it. I just don't think it's in Flick's DNA to travel to Spain and let Atletico tickle his belly. You know what I mean? I just don't see that happening. And look, in terms of why Bayern might want to win this game, I'm not even sure, the kind of how interested he is in records, but Bayern have a phenomenal win streak right now. Bayern have a record-setting run of 15 straight Champions League victories after overcoming Salzburg last week. They could also potentially become the first team ever in Europe to attain successive perfect Champions League group stages, maximum points in 2 straight years. As I say, maybe Flick doesn't value that much, but it's in his mindset, it's in his DNA. He always wants to win. And even with all those players out, we said, Davis, Kimmich, Tolizo, Goretzka, Lewandowski, so on, they've still got such a squad. Pavard, Leroy Sané, Hernandez, Thomas Muller, they're all making the trip to Spain. And as Nick said as well, these backup players, they want to prove themselves. They want to get on that, starting 11. So it's just a tricky game. It's not a game I'll be involved in, but, me and Carmine, we both have that big future on Atlético. So I'll be sitting back in this one. I'd like to see Atlético do well here. But I mean, you need absolute balls of steel to step in front of Bayern Munich. And, when do we ever see them at a plus a half a goal? So if I was playing this game, I'd take Bayern plus the half a goal, yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to step in front of that train. So we'll see. It could very well just be a positive light at the end of the tunnel. So let's go Atlético on this one. All right, guys, we covered all 4 games. We did some segments, giving out some winners, hopefully. Just want to wrap up a couple things. Obviously, you guys know it's $2 Tuesdays at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. Head over to both sites. The $2 capper is none other than Kevin Dolan. He's got a play in college football. It's a side play. You can get that play for $2. And at Sports Memo, it's Drew Martin. You can get Drew's college basketball play for only $2 as well. That's the $2 Tuesday promo we do each and every week, where you get a featured cappers best play that goes for either $25, $29, or $40, and you get it for $2. So that's a great deal. Also, the Matchday Champions League package is up. You can get my plays and Pavlos. We're the only guys who have that package up right now. Every single play for Tuesday and Wednesday, including 5% plays. I have one loaded up at Wager Talk for Wednesday's action. That uses the code MD530. So MD5, the word 530, and you get an additional $30 off that $89 price, $59. 5% plays themselves go for $40. Guys, I appreciate you guys watching. The internet held up. Thanks. Hit that, smash that like button. There's about 190 of you in there. I only see about 33 likes. Come on, guys, hit that like button. And best of luck, guys, to the crew. Good luck with your plays the next couple days. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday for Match Day 6.
Some companies have a Cyber Monday sale, but here at Wager Talk and Sports Memo, we have a Cyber Week sale. With our Cyber Week special, you can spend less than $100 per month for the next 6 months, and you will get every play your favorite handicapper releases. Let's suppose you already signed up for a subscription. In that case, this will add an additional 180 days and extend any current package you have. No one deserves a gift more than you, so why not treat yourself to the best gift of all and get 1, 2, or even 3 cappers for only $599 each. This offer expires Sunday, December the 6th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time.
Tuesday is match day 5 in Champions League soccer, and Carmine Bianco has you guys covered with a special match day 5 package. You can get all of his selections on Tuesday and Wednesday, including his 5% top play for only $59 when using coupon code MD530 at checkout. This package is regularly priced at $89. Carmine is currently hitting 71% with his tournament selections this year and is on a 12-2 run with his 5% soccer releases.